Welcome back to 340 Paddler, and fitting enough, this is the 100th video for 340 Paddler because I can't use grammar. And it is the 2018 MR340 Outlook. It is currently Friday at about 7 a.m. and the information is current at this time. Now, if you're familiar with my video from last year, I said it would be slow and hot, and I was wrong. Actually, no, I said it would be a slow river and cool river, cool temperatures, but again, I was wrong. So let's move on and see how wrong I'll be this year. First of all, temperatures. We are looking at mid-80s. These are temperatures from Boonville. Yes, Tuesday's not on there. It's about the same. I cannot use the technology on AccuWeather, apparently. We do have some thunderstorms possible on Friday, hopefully towards the very end of the day and hopefully missing St. Charles. Now, this forecast is likely to change because it's Missouri, and in Missouri they have weather like nowhere else, where suddenly you can be out there and it's 95 degrees and hot, and suddenly you're wondering why there are tornadoes around you, or why your cabin is suddenly flying through the air, and how you ended up with it falling on some crazy witch, who might be a good witch or a bad witch, or maybe just a sandwich, whichever. So, moving on, temperatures are just about right. That should be a good thing, except for one really basic problem. If the temperatures are cool during the day, they're cool during the night, and you will get cold. Now, if you're from a northern climate, this might not be that much of a problem, but they're calling for about mid to low 60s at night. So make sure that you have a coat. Make sure that you have something to keep you warm while you're out there at night. And try and wear it under your PFD. You can throw something over if you need to, but it can interfere with the function of the PFD. Storms. Storms are always an issue. They aren't actually in the forecast, but they are always there, and I have found a new tool, one that I highly recommend. And it is called a lightning tracker, and is a great tool. It will tell you within a given radius if there's lightning detected within the area. It would be great for ground crews and paddlers to let you know if something's coming that you're not otherwise aware of. This has happened on the race a number of times. 2016 between Waverly and Miami. 2015 in the middle of the night between Miami and Glasgow. So these things do happen. Use prudence. Always be prepared for a storm to come up. Be prepared. Always know sort of what's the next point, what's the next ramp, etc. Fog. When it is cool during the day, it is cool at night. And mid-60s could well spell fog. I mean, it doesn't really, because mid-60s is way too many letters, and you know that, but you get what I'm trying to get at. So, fog will be an issue. Do not paddle into the fog. Do not do this if they're going out. If they're coming in, awesome, do this, but don't if you're going out. The problem is this will be your visibility, even during the day. At night, it's worse. Do not go out in the fog, and if you're in a fog, get to shore. Now, the most likely time for fog is usually between about 3 and 6 in the morning, give or take. There are parts of the river that are more prone to fog in my experience than others, but of course the entire thing can fog. I've seen it more in Lisbon Bottoms, and once you get out near Rocheport and then near Herman. I don't know why those are hot spots, but they are between Chamois and Herman. And that may just be that those are places where I've encountered fog in the past. So it could always happen. Oftentimes you'll see it start like this, and you'll be like, oh, this isn't bad. And then you're going to look up and see what looks like a cloud that's sitting in the middle of the river, and suddenly you'll be in this. So take it seriously. Get off the river, relax, take a nap. And when it burns off very, very quickly. So make sure someone's awake to let you know, and then get back out on the water. In terms of river level, this is Boonville as of this morning. This is yesterday's forecast. I haven't seen anything that's likely to change it much. Of course, Miami and Waverly look higher. Now, I ran Freedom a couple of weeks ago. We ran at just about this level, maybe a hair lower. And for those of you who are saying this is going to be a really fast river, I would ask you to reconsider that thought. Because at 14, 15 feet, to me, the river is kind of irritating. At this level at Boonville, what you're going to run into is the water is over the dikes. So it's very turbulent. There's a lot of boils to slow you down, because boils are basically water pushing straight up. It's like hitting the brakes in your kayak. They're nothing to worry about, but they are something that's going to play into things. And at a higher level like this, you have more of them. And there's less sandbars. There's less places to stop. So this, to me, is a really irritating level. At Freedom, a lot of people were averaging around 9, give or take, towards the front of the field. It's not going to add that much speed. So if you're looking for a big speed boost, this is probably not the year for it. The gauges at Miami and Waverly, amongst a couple of others, look higher because the river is narrower there. So it's a little bit of a false sense that you get from the gauge. By the way, this was the gauge when I did this video last year. And for those of you who raced last year, you know that at the next update, which happened about 2-3 hours after the video, they changed it dramatically. So take this all with a grain of salt. Everything can change. Right now, this is what it looks like at Herman. You can even see the time that I stole this from the USGS at Herman. And they've got the 2 ramps. Things look good. As you move downriver, the water level will decrease. And that is not, and you'll see more sandbars. That's in large part because the river's getting wider. So the gauges, the speed should be roughly consistent down the river, but you're going to end up with more places to stop as you get towards the end of the race, which is good. Ultimately, I hope to see you all sitting there cheerfully in your boats on Tuesday. Well, I won't see the tandems, but I will see all the solos. Good luck. And this is 340 Paddler. This is my 100th video, and if you have any questions, comments, concerns, quarrels, qualms, quandaries, curse words, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, keep your paddle in the water, and hopefully, I'll see you at St. Charles.